For the class. Before beginning this or any movement program, please seek approval from your physician by joining us here voluntarily in this practice. Understand potential dangers and assume and accept all risks. Wandering Lotus Yoga and its employees are not liable for any injury sustained during this practice. So I'm just going to go ahead and make sure everyone is on mute. We're going to be focusing on the Psoas today. So we're going to, our peak pose tonight will be Ustrasana or camel pose, and we'll be working towards that. So if you're not familiar with the psoas muscles run from the lumbar region and attach to the spine. And then they run all the way down to our femur and connect our spine to our legs. In fact, they're the only muscles that do that. So without psoas, we would not be able to walk or to lift our legs. So pretty important muscles. Taoists believe that psoas is the muscle of the soul. And there's some interesting connections between the psoas and emotions. So when we sit around a lot during the day, our psoas can get tight, but also when we experience trauma and stress, our psoas muscles can get tight. So we're going to be working on that today. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt. I just want to let you know, John just texted me. He's not in town with me, but he said running late for yoga, which could mean anything. And I asked him if he thought when he'd be, what
okay.
time.
All right. Just I'll try to monitor the room, but yeah. Okay.
If
Thanks,
he misses, he misses.
Yeah. I'll send the video out. Thanks, Barbara. Okay, we're going to get started in a supportive fish pose. So you'll want to have your props handy for this. One option will be your rolled up blanket or towel. And let's see, I'm going to change the view here so that you're just seeing me in the video. So you have your rolled up blanket or towel, and you can place that behind you at the base of the spine. So this is one option for supported fish pose. And I'm going to demonstrate this one first. It's a lot more gentle option. And you'll feel the opening in the shoulders and in the psoas. Another option, one that I like, is to use two blocks. So you can place one block on the medium setting underneath the shoulder blades, just underneath the shoulder blades. And then you can bring the second block underneath the head, maybe on the medium setting if that's comfortable for you, or maybe on the higher setting, whichever one is more comfortable. So choose whichever one you'd like for getting started in supported fish. And just begin to arrive on your mat. Relax the gaze or close the eyes. Start to let go of your day, any busyness in your mind, any work that is still filtering through the brain. And just try to pay attention to the body. Noticing your head connected to a block or the mat, your shoulders supported by a bolster or a block. Imagine, maybe even place your hands where your psoas muscles are located. Connect with those muscles. And then begin to connect with the mind. Noticing the thoughts that flow through the mind. Letting go of anything that's not serving you this evening. And inviting in anything that nourishes your soul. I encourage you to make an intention around that which nourishes your soul for your practice tonight. Maybe it's play. Maybe it's music. Maybe it's human connection. Maybe it's time for yourself to relax, reconnect with your body and mind. And seal the lips. And we'll take an inhale, constrict the muscles in the back of the throat. And we'll take an inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Beginning Ujjayi breathing or victorious breath. Drawing an inhale, maybe to the count of about 4. Releasing your exhale to the count of 4. Feeling the lungs expand. Listening for that whispering sound at the back of the throat. Inhaling that which nourishes your soul. And exhaling anything else that you don't need. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and remove the blocks or the bolster or the rolled up blanket, whatever you have underneath you. And find your strap. And just bring that with you as you lay back down on your mat. We're going to draw the right knee in towards the right armpit. Just keeping the strap handy here. For half wind relieving pose, draw the knee towards the armpit and take 3 breaths here. Feeling the hip flexors engage. And then place your strap around the ball of the right foot and extend the leg up towards the ceiling, straightening the right leg. You can keep a slight bend in it if that's comfortable for you. And draw your elbows towards your mat. See if you can rest your elbows on the mat. Take 3 breaths here. Inviting the back of the leg, the hamstrings to open up. And on your next breath, see if you can draw the leg a little bit closer to the face. Taking 2 more breaths here. And then we'll bring both edges of this or both ends of the strap into the right hand. And the left arm can come out to the side. And we'll slowly let the right leg open up to the right. Opening up the groin, the hip flexor. Take 2 breaths here. And on an inhale, come back up to center. And exhale, switch the grip of your strap and let the leg drop over to the left. So you'll feel all along the right hip, the right outer hip, and the IT band. And then inhaling to come back to center. And slowly release the strap, bring the right leg down to join the left. And extend the right leg alongside the mat. Draw the left knee in towards the left armpit. Half wind relieving pose. Take 3 breaths here. Just really noticing the hip flexor after a long day of sitting, probably. Should feel pretty good. And then place the strap around the ball of the left foot and extend the left leg towards the ceiling, straightening the left leg. You can keep a slight bend in the knee if that's more comfortable. And then let the elbows rest on the mat, drawing the leg towards the face. Take 3 rounds of breath here. And on your next breath, see if you can draw the leg a little closer to the face for 2 more breaths. This leg might feel very different from the other side. That's normal. And then place both ends of the strap in the left hand and slowly let the left leg drop over to the left. Take 2 rounds of breath here. And inhale to come back to center and change the grip of the strap, placing both ends in your right hand. Let the left arm come out to the left side and let the left leg drop over to the right. Again, noticing deep hip stretch in the outer left hip, the left IT band, and any differences between this leg and the other leg. Inhale to come back to center, release the strap, and place both feet on the mat with the knees bent. Scoot the feet out to the edges of your mat. So you're kind of dropping the knees in towards each other a little bit, and the feet are all the way out towards the edges of your mat. Take an inhale here, and on an exhale, let both knees drop over to the left. Inhale to come back to center, and let both knees drop over to the right for a windshield wiper motion here. Inhaling back to center, exhaling to the left, inhaling back to center, and exhaling to the right. Inhale, come back to center, pick up the hips and shift them over to the right edge of your mat, setting up for Bananasana. So we'll bring both legs towards the left corner of the mat, crossing the right ankle over the left. So we're inviting a nice stretch all along the right side body. And then bringing both arms up to the left, top left corner of the mat and clasping the right wrist with the left hand. Take 3 rounds of breath here. This is a really great stretch for our psoas muscles. Release the grip on the right hand, uncross the legs, come back to center, knees are bent, and pick up the hips and send them over to the left side of the mat. Bring both feet down to the right corner, crossing the left ankle over the right, and both arms up to the right corner of the mat, clasping the left wrist with the right hand. Take 3 rounds of breath here. And then release the grip of the hands, uncross the ankles, come back to a neutral position, draw the knees into the chest, and begin some gentle rock and rolls, massaging the spine, and eventually rolling up into a tabletop position. Stacking the hips over the knees, stacking the shoulders over the wrists, fingers are spread wide, and on an inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, lift the tail, and exhale to draw the navel towards the spine, rounding into cat, tucking the chin, tucking the tail. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. 3 more at your own pace, letting your breath be your guide. Letting your body tell you what it needs. Warming up the spine. And then finding a neutral position and bringing the left leg out behind you, flexing the toes, right arm out in front of you alongside the ears, alongside the right ear. Take an inhale here and exhale to draw the elbow to knee, pointing the toe. Inhaling to extend, flexing the toe. Exhaling to draw elbow to knee. Inhale to extend. Exhale to come together. One more time, inhaling to extend. Exhaling to come together. And then extend the arm and the leg. Bend the knee, bend the left knee. So the heel is shining towards the ceiling. And with the right hand, you can reach around and grab for the left toes. Gaze is over the right shoulder. Bound tiger. Kick the foot into the right hand so you really feel that quad stretch on the left side. Breathe here. And then release the toes, coming back into a bird dog position, and then bring the knee and the hand back down into tabletop. Inhale, pick up the right leg and flex the toes behind you. Bring the left arm alongside the left ear. Inhale here. And exhale, draw elbow to knee. Inhale to extend. And exhale to bring elbow to knee. Inhale to extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale to extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale to extend and hold it here. Bend the right knee. Heel is shining towards the sky. Grab around with the left hand towards the right toes. And gaze can be over the left shoulder for bound tiger. Take a breath here. And then release the toes, come back into your bird dog position, and then eventually into tabletop. I'm gonna let John in really quick. I think I heard him come in. There we go. So back to tabletop, extend the left leg behind you, planting the toes on the mat. Gently pivot the right knee off to the right at a 45-degree angle. So the toes come off to a 45-degree angle. And inhale to sweep the left arm up into a supported side plank. You can plant the left foot on the mat. Take a round of breath here. And then pick up the left foot, flex the toes for half moon pose. Breathe here. And either stay here or bend the left knee, reaching around for sugar cane pose. Gaze can be over the left shoulder. Take a round of breath. And then gently release the toes, coming back into your half moon pose if you have them. Lower the leg, coming back into your side plank. And then we'll come back into our tabletop and get the other side. Extend the right foot behind you. Toes are planted on the mat. Pivot the left shin off to the side at a 45-degree angle, like a little kickstand. And inhale to sweep the right arm up. Gaze can follow. Plant the right foot on the mat for a side plank, supported side plank. Inhale to pick up the right leg for half moon, flexing the toes. And if it's okay with your body today, you can bend the right knee, Reach around with the right hand and grasp the toes, looking over the right shoulder, sugar cane pose. And then release the toes, coming back to half moon. Gently lower the leg, coming back to your side plank, and then returning to tabletop pose. Press back into child's pose. Take a round of breath here. Remember that you can come to child's pose at any time during our practice today. And then come back through tabletop, tuck the toes, send the hips up and back, coming into the first downward facing dog of our practice. Maybe you want to walk out your dog a little bit by bending one knee and then the other. Check the hands, making sure fingers are wide, palms are pressing into the mat. Shoulders are relaxed, head and neck are relaxed, gaze is towards your feet. On an inhale, bend the knees, look at the hands, and exhale to step, hop, or float to the top of your mat. Inhale for a half lift, and exhale to forward fold. Let the body get heavy here. Let the belly rest on the top of the thighs. Take a bind of your choice, maybe ragdoll where you clasp opposite elbows, or perhaps you would like a shoulder rinse. And then release whatever bind you have. Inhale for half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, circle sweep the arms to come on up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to do some sun salutation breath to warm up the body. So we'll go through several iterations. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale for half lift, hands come to shins. Exhale to fold. Inhale, root to rise, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And again, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale for half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, root to rise, sweeping the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale for half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a round of centering breath here, and we'll get ready for classical sun salutations. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, pick up the left foot and step it behind you. Drop the back knee, untuck the toes. Inhale to shine the heart forward. Exhale to sink a little bit deeper. Option to bring the toes towards the glutes and reach around with the right hand and grasp the toes for a deeper quad stretch here, or you can remain in your low lunge. If you grab the toes, go ahead and release them. Tuck the back toes, bring the right foot to meet the left, coming into your plank position. Drop the knees, drop the chest and the chin, coming into Ashtanga Pranam. Bum is still in the air. And then we're going to inhale through, bringing the chest through the arms for baby cobra. Toes are pointed, zip up the legs, relax the gaze, relax the back of the neck. Take a round of breath here. And then tuck the back toes, press up into your downward facing dog. Inhale, pick up the left foot and exhale to send it between the hands. Take your time. There's no place to be, no hurry. Drop the right knee to the mat, untuck the toes. Inhale to shine the heart forward. Exhale to sink a little bit deeper. And an option to pick up the toes and send them towards the glutes, reaching around with the left hand, grasping those toes. Take a round of breath here. And if you have the toes, gently release them, not slingshotting them to the mat. Frame the left foot, tuck the back toes, lift the knee, and bring the right foot to join the left at the top of your mat. Inhale for half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to circle sweep the arms. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Good job. Take a round of breath here. And then inhale, sit back into chair. Hands are at heart center. Take a moment in chair to check out your feet. Maybe your feet are next to each other. They could be a little bit of distance apart. Squeezing the knees together. Imagine like you have a block between your knees. The weight is in the heels. We should be able to lift up our toes up off the mat. So hands are in prayer position. Take an inhale here. And on an exhale, bring the left elbow to the outside of the right knee, gazing up towards the right shoulder. Take a round of breath here. And inhale to come back to center. Exhaling, bring in the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Take a round of breath here. And then inhale to come back to center. And we're going to flow like this a few times. So inhale here in center. Exhale to the right. Inhale back to center, letting your breath be your guide. Exhale to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale back to center in chair pose. And exhale to stand in Tadasana. Round of breath here. And we'll come through our standing sequence. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale for half lift. Exhale for forward fold. Inhale to step back to plank pose. Roll forward on the toes. And begin to bend the elbows to a 90-degree angle, coming to a half push-up. And you can drop the knees at any time. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale to roll over the toes into downward facing dog. Inhale, pick up the right foot. And exhale to send it between the hands. Plant the back foot parallel to the back edge of your mat. Inhaling to cartwheel the arms and come on up into warrior two. So taking a moment here in warrior two. We have a tendency to kind of lean forward in warrior two. We want to draw that back arm with an equal amount of tension in the front arm in opposite directions. Sitting deeply into that front knee, that front thigh. Maybe you can see the big toe peeking out, pressing the right knee away from the center midline. And let the left hand come alongside the left leg. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Take a round of breath here. And then come back through warrior two. Turn the palm up to face the sky. Bend the elbow and place it on the knee. Bring the left arm alongside the left ear. for extended side angle. Remember not to dump too much weight into that knee. The arm is just gently resting here. You can also take a block and use it to bring the ground up to you a little closer. Take a round of breath here. And then we're going to flow between reverse warrior and extended side angle. So inhale to come back up to reverse your warrior. Exhale to extended side angle. Again, letting your breath be the guide. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Exhale for extended side angle. And one more time, inhaling to reverse warrior. And exhale for extended side angle. Come back up through warrior two. Straighten the front leg and float the left hip towards the back of your mat. Exhaling into triangle pose, Utthita Trikonasana, extended triangle pose. Maybe keep a micro bend in your right knee to protect your knee a little bit. Maybe your fingertips come to the mat. Maybe they come to a block. As long as they're not resting on the knee, gaze could be straight ahead in a neutral gaze or up at the left hand. Take a round of breath here. And then inhale to come back up. Pivot the right toes to be parallel with the left. Maybe you need to shorten your stance slightly. Hands on the hips. Inhale here and exhale to half fold. Flat back. Place the right hand in front of you, down below the face on your mat. And inhale to sweep the left arm up for a revolved, wide-legged forward bend. Take a round of breath here. And then place the left hand back on the hip. Bring the right hand to the hip. Inhale to come back up. And pivot both feet towards the top of your mat. So we're going to come into a runner's lunge here. So framing the right foot. Back heel is free, released from your mat. So you're in a high runner's lunge here, or a runner's lunge here. And we're going to come into lizard. So bring the right hand inside the right foot. So both hands are on the inside of the right foot here. And you're going to heel toe the right foot towards the right side of your mat. You can stay here, or if this feels a little too intense, you can drop your back knee. Or if you'd like a little bit more intensity, you can bend the elbows to come on down onto your forearms for a round of breath here. And then if you came onto your forearms, come back up onto the palms. And now drop the back knee, the left knee, untuck the toes. Roll onto the pinky toe edge of the right foot. And place the palm of the hand inside the right knee, pressing the right knee slightly away from you. Gaze is over the left shoulder for twisted dragon. You should be feeling a lot of conversation in your hips right now. And then roll back on to the sole of the foot. Bring the right foot in between the hands. Tuck the toes, lift the knee, and bring the right foot back to meet the left. And you can come through your vinyasa here, or you can meet in downward facing dog. So take a round of breath in downward facing dog and let that side go. We'll inhale, pick up the left leg, bring it between the hands. Plant the back foot so it's parallel to the back edge of your mat. And inhale to come on up into warrior two. I'm going to turn around so you guys can see me. So in warrior two, pressing the knife edge of your right foot into the mat and the big toe of your left foot into the mat. Arms are pulling in opposite directions. Hips are open to the side of your mat, maybe gazing at the middle finger. Take a round of breath here. And then let the right hand come alongside the right leg. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Take a round of breath here. Maybe sit deeper. And come back up to warrior two. Turn the palm of the left hand up. Bend the elbow. Place it on the left knee. Bring the right arm alongside the right ear for extended side angle. Remember not to place too much weight into that left knee. You can grab a block. If that feels more comfortable. Take a round of breath here. And we'll flow between reverse warrior and extended side angle. So inhaling to reverse your warrior. Exhale for extended side angle. Inhale for reverse warrior. Exhale for extended side angle. Inhaling to reverse your warrior. And exhaling for extended side angle. Come back up into warrior two. Straighten the front leg, shift the hips, the right hips towards the back of your mat, and exhaling into triangle pose. Maybe your hand comes to the floor, maybe it comes to a block. If it's okay on your neck, you can gaze up at the right hand, maybe keeping a micro bend in the left knee. Take a round of breath here. And inhale to come back up. Pivot the left toes to be parallel with the right. Hands on the hips, maybe shortening your stance if you need to. Inhale to get tall. And exhale for a half fold here. Planting the left hand on the mat directly below the face. And inhaling, sweeping the right arm up. Gazing at the right hand for a revolved, wide-legged forward fold. And release that hand, bring both hands to your hips. Inhale to come on up. Pivot the left foot, bring the right toes with you towards the top of your mat. Frame the left foot with both hands, coming into a runner's lunge. That back heel is free up off the mat. Take a round of breath here. And then we're setting up for lizard. So we'll bring the left hand inside the left foot. So both hands are together on the inside of the left foot. You can stay here. If this feels too intense, you can drop that back knee, the right knee. Or if you'd like a little bit deeper opening in both hips, you can come down on your forearms, or you can come down to a block. Bring the ground up to you by placing a block there. Take a round of breath here. And then if you come onto your forearms, if you have a block, remove it. Come back up onto your hands. Drop the back knee. Untuck the toes. Roll the left foot onto the pinky toe edge of the foot, opening up the hip. Place the left hand inside the left knee, pressing the left knee away from you. Gaze to the right. twisted dragon. Take a round of breath here. Enjoying the juiciness of this stretch. And then place the left hand back down on the mat, roll the toes back onto the mat, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, place the left hand on the left side of the foot, bringing the foot back to the center. And inhale to step to the top of your mat. Inhale for half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to circle sweep the arms and come on up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a round of breath here. Let all of that go. And bring the feet about hip width distance apart. Toes are pointing out. And if you would like to practice crow and you haven't practiced crow before, I'm just going to talk you through it. So place both hands in front of you, fingers are spread wide, and start to bring your feet closer towards your hands. So you're kind of coming into this crow-like position. You're going to bend the elbows at approximately a 90-degree angle, and the knees and shins are coming up towards the triceps, up towards even the armpits if you can. And then you're going to bend, sort of tilt forward. So you're on your tippy toes like this. And if you'd like to play around with crow, you can play around with picking up one foot, maybe the other foot, just taking turns with each foot, practicing your balance. This is also really good for the psoas. Don't feel intimidated if you've never done crow before. Takes a lot of practice. I can't really get both feet off the mat, but pretty sure our friend Rebecca can. And when you're done playing with crow, come back to your Malasana squat, or if you stayed in Malasana, you can come back to that now. And then place the hands on the mat. And we're going to come to a kneeling position, having at least one of your blocks handy. And we're coming to our peak pose here, which is camel, Ustrasana. And I'm going to talk you through a couple of different options and then invite you to choose whichever option feels most suitable for you today. So the first option for camel, we're kneeling, placing the hands at the base of the spine, fingertips pointed down, drawing the shoulder blades together. Knees are close to each other. Again, imagining that you're holding something between your thighs. And then pressing into the low back, the chest rises. Maybe the gaze comes up across the ceiling. If it's comfortable, you can bring your head, let your head drop behind you. That's one option. Another option is to practice half camel. So you will inhale one arm up, probably the right hand, inhale the right hand up. And then the left hand can come either to a block like this, or if it's accessible to you, you can bring it to the heel, the left heel. Gaze is up. Feel that opening in the psoas, the hip flexors, belly is strong and engaged. When you're ready, you can press yourself up and then do the other side. That's option 2. Option 3 is to take an inhale, starting in the first position that I showed, draw the shoulders together, and then slowly start to press back, and then find one heel and then the other, coming into a full camel. You can keep the neck neutral with the gaze just at the ceiling, or if it's okay with your neck, you can also let the head hang back. So take a moment to just try whichever version feels right for your body today. We'll have a minute or two just to kind of play around with camel Maybe starting with the first version, seeing how that feels. Being really mindful of the low back. If the low back says not today, then trust it. And again, use your blocks to help bring the floor up to you. You don't have to have your hands on your heels. It's not necessary. But if it feels good, you can come down and find one heel and then the other. And when you're done playing around with camel, press back into child's pose. Take a round of breath here. And we'll press back into tabletop, tuck the toes, send the hips up and back into a downward facing dog, setting up for pigeon. So inhale, pick up the right foot, and exhale to open the right hip. Trying not to dump too much weight into the left shoulder. Maybe circle the ankle, inviting that big yawn all alongside the right side body. And then straighten the leg back into three-legged dog. We're going to bend the knee, bringing it towards the right wrist and setting the left toes towards the left wrist, setting up for pigeon. If there's a lot of space, first of all, your shin does not need to be parallel to the top of the mat. It's totally fine if your toes are pointing towards that left hip. If there's a lot of space between your right hip and the mat, you might put a block there. Take an inhale here. And if it feels comfortable, you can come down onto your forearms or a block and rest your forehead on a block. And take 3 breaths here. Feeling that opening in the outer right hip. Being mindful of the knee. If the knee gives you any trouble, you can draw the toes in closer to the right toes in closer towards the body. And then if you came down into sleeping pigeon or you used a block, go ahead and press back up, tuck the back toes, and send the right foot back to join the left in downward facing dog. And inhale to pick up the left toes. Exhale to open up the left hip into half scorpion. Trying to keep the shoulders even. Maybe rolling out the ankle a little bit. And then extending the left leg into three-legged dog, drawing the knee through and bringing the left toes up towards the right wrist. And the left knee towards the left wrist. This side may feel completely different, and that's okay. Again, you can use a block underneath the left hip if there's a lot of space there. And when you're ready, you can roll down fold down onto your forearms, maybe resting your head on a block. And take 3 rounds of breath here. And inhale to come back up and place the block off to the side if you were using it. We're going to press back up into our pigeon and sit back on the left hip and draw the right foot up to meet the left in front of you. Knees are bent. Hands are behind you, fingertips pointing towards the body. And we'll inhale to come up, raise the toes up off of the mat, coming into an easy boat pose. And we'll dip the right toe down and up, and the left toe down and up. And again, the right toe down and up, left toes down and up. And one more time, right and left. And then bringing the feet down to the mat, placing the soles of the feet on the mat. Hands are still behind you, fingertips pointing towards the body. And on an inhale, send the hips up into reverse tabletop. You can keep the neck neutral, or you can let the neck hang down if that feels okay for you. And then we're going to take a figure 4 here on each side. So pick up the right foot and cross it over the left knee, pressing the right knee away towards the mat, away from you and towards the mat. And then bring the right foot back down, pick up the left foot and cross the left foot over the right knee, sending the hips up, pressing the knee away from you towards the mat, towards the earth. And then uncross the left foot, lower the hips, extend the legs out in front of you and open them wide for a seated straddle. You can keep a slight bend in your knees if that feels good. Inhale to get tall and exhale to crawl forward until your body tells you to stop. And you can rest on a block. Maybe it's in the high position. Maybe it's in the highest position. You can rest your forehead there. Maybe it's in the medium position and you can rest your forehead there. Let's take 3 rounds of breath here. And when you're ready, use the hands to press up. Place the hands underneath each knee. Draw the legs together. Extend the legs in front of you. And bring the sole of the left foot into the inside of the right thigh, Janu Sirsasana, head to knee pose. Inhale the arms up. Exhale to fold over the right leg. Clasping either the toes or the ankle, or maybe it's the shin. Maybe if you want a deeper twist, you use the left hand to clasp the outside of the right foot, grabbing the pinky toe edge of the right foot. And just take a round of breath here. And we'll inhale to come back up. Place the left hand behind you, fingers tips pointing away, and inhale to press up into a circle pose, half circle pose. Right arm sweeps alongside the right ear, and exhale to come back down. And then we'll cross the left foot over the right knee, hooking the right elbow around the right knee. Left hand is behind you, fingertips pointing away. Inhale here and exhale to twist to the left. Take a round of breath here. Inhaling to get tall. Exhaling to twist a little bit deeper. And then release the elbow, uncross the legs, come back to center. And bring the sole of the left foot inside, sole of the right foot inside the left thigh. Inhale, arms up. And exhale to fold over the left leg, Janu Sirsasana. Head to knee pose. Finding the ankle, the shin, the toes, And inhale to come on back up. Place the right hand by the right hip, fingertips pointing away from you. Inhale, sweep the left arm alongside the left ear, coming up onto the knee, half circle pose. And exhale to come back down. Cross the right foot over the left knee. Hook the left elbow around the right knee. Right hand is planted behind you, fingertips pointing away. Inhale to get tall and exhale to twist to the right. Inhaling to get taller and exhaling to twist a little bit deeper. And unhook the elbow, uncross the legs, bend the knees, scooch the hips forward a little bit and slowly roll down one vertebra at a time. We'll come into bridge pose, drawing the heels close to the hips, leaving about a hand width apart so the fingertips just graze the back of the hips. Imagining you have a block that's in between your thighs and you're holding that together. Palms are facing down. Inhale, bring the hip points up towards the ceiling, keeping the neck straight, not turning the head from side to side. Take a round of breath here. And then lower the sacrum back to the mat. Cross the right foot over the left knee. Bring the arms out into a T. And let the right foot drop over to the left. The left knee comes with it for half cow face pose. Gaze can be up at the ceiling or over to the right, whatever's comfortable for your neck. And inhale to come back to center. Uncross the right foot and cross the left ankle over the right knee. Arms are still out in a T. And gently let the left foot and the right knee drop over to the right. Maybe the left sole of the foot comes to the mat or the floor. Gaze can be up at the sky or over to your left. And inhale to come back to center. We'll take one happy baby, or if you have another shape that you would like to add to your practice tonight before we close out our practice, I invite you to take whatever shape feels good for you. You're taking happy baby, place the heels or the soles of the feet towards the sky, bending the knees, clasping the outside or the inside of the feet. Using the elbows to press the knees open just a little bit more. Maybe rocking from side to side. And when you're ready, find your final resting shape. You can come into a traditional Shavasana with legs extended towards either edge of the mat. Arms alongside of you, palms facing up. Or if you'd like to return to a supported fish pose, that's also a nice option for closing out our practice today. Close the eyes and let go of all of the work that you've done today in this practice and throughout your day. Notice how your body feels. Notice how your mind feels. Reconnect with any intention that you set at the beginning of our practice. Reconnect with that which nourishes your soul. take a moment to just be. When you're ready, as you begin to stir movement in fingers and toes, maybe taking that good morning stretch, I offer a reminder. When you recover or discover something that nourishes your soul and brings joy, care enough about yourself to make room for that in your life. Rolling over to side resting pose on the side of your choice. And pressing up into a seated position, Sukhasana or half lotus. And we'll take a final breath together. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Bowing the head in a gesture of offering. Thank yourself for taking care of your mind, body, and spirit today. And I thank each of you for joining me in this practice. May our practice benefit all beings. Namaste. Thanks, everyone. Sorry about the technology problems. I think it worked out okay, though. So I'll see you next Monday. Have a great week. Thanks.